Alright, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel. We love comics, and I have two books I want to unbox for your viewing pleasure. We have one that is a Silver Age Mega Key. This is a book I have several copies of. This is absolutely a book I highly recommend getting. It is an expensive book, even in low grade, but not out of the realm of possibility for most people. But this book is going to rise, in my opinion, because the character in that book, I cannot stress enough, will eventually be in the MCU. And if you do not have this book now, you'll regret it later on. And you know what happens when you wait too long for a book. So this is definitely one I highly recommend. The other box is a modern spec. What happens with this book remains to be seen, but I definitely paid under what the current values are. Whether it retains that value or not will basically depend on what they do with the character throughout the test of the comic book time. So with that being said, because YouTube now, when they changed everything, doesn't allow me to do advance notice and everything, I want to wait a second or two for people to see that I'm making a live video. Don't forget, if you sign up for the cashback program, if you sign up using the link in the description, the live chat, or I will pin it to the comments section of this video, and you sign up and you spend $25 or more within the first 90 days of signing up, you get a $10 cashback bonus. Congratulations to all those that signed up for the $30 bonus, but that ended on the 6th. Who knows if they'll do it again, but definitely I will keep you posted. So, we got two unboxings. Let me show that. And also, don't forget to wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out. You don't have to be a subscriber, but it does pay to be one, because you can get information, especially when I do a lot of pre-order information. I get the information before the pre-orders even come out, so hit the notification bell. But you do have to be in the live chat if you want the surprise subscriber shout out, because I pick somebody in the live chat. It's my way of saying thank you for spending time with me while I do these live. So let me put on the video camera, and happy Saturday to everybody. I'll start with the modern book, because, and they boxed this really well. It actually is one of the few times where somebody packaged something where I'm very happy with the way it was, and the condition of the box is great, and this is definitely a reusable box, so I'm sure many of you out there recycle and use the comic boxes and the bags and boards and the popcorn stuff, the packing peanuts and all that other stuff. And I think, speaking of which, did he tape it from the inside? Yes, he did. Alright, so there are packing peanuts in here. It's always good when you, I mean, even if you're not mailing packages, or at least comics, these things always come in handy. Alright, so they put it in a big size box. Very happy with that. Now, I will also mention the price. I always do that, and that includes the shipping and handling. So there should be a few books in here. Now, the one thing I don't like that people do is when they tape it, you really should be using the painter's tape, because it's a lot easier to untape it. Because sometimes when, especially if somebody uses, like this person did, they used the packing tape. That stuff is meant to hold things together, so it can be a problem when you're opening it, because if it does not have enough give, you could potentially bend the comic as you're opening it. Alright, so, but I can't complain. They did make sure it's secure. Alright, see, this is what I'm talking about. They taped it in a bag, and then they used that packing tape, so I'm not even going to try and peel that open. I'll sacrifice one of the bags, because that will bend the comics, so you absolutely don't want to do that. Alright. So let's... Alright, so there's two sets of books. Well, I cannot say that they did a bad job packing these. Absolutely secure. So, good job for the seller that did this. I mean, I don't mind the extra work in the long run if the comics are packaged nice. And I will say, from a scale from 1 to 10, they packaged these perfectly. So there's two sets of the same thing, so I'm not going to spend too much time on opening the second one. I'll do that later. But it's a 3-piece set, and then I will do the Silver Age Mega Key. So we have Batman 92, we have the regular cover, we have the Art Germ variant, and of course these are the first covers of Punchline, issue 92. I'm not sure which one they consider the official first cover, but these came out at the same time, so that would be irrelevant. And then the more popular one. So I have 2 of each of these. Now, obviously, if you saw a earlier video, I have several of these I bought, but I have 2 of these. This is the 1 in 25 variant. As of now, a 9.8 is selling for about $150. And Richard McDowell says, "Who is Art Germ?" Art Germ is an incredible artist. If you don't know who Art Germ is, I highly recommend looking him up. Jamie says, "Is Punchline any good?" Too early to tell, to be honest. She got very popular very quick. Whether that's sustainable or not, who knows? But it always depends. Like, people ask me, are any comic, worth investing in? My answer will always be, it depends on the price. Because if I spent $150 for that one book, well, if it doesn't go up and goes down, I'm going to be very disappointed. If I spend $50 for the book and it goes up to $500, then I did a great deal. So when it comes to speculation, especially with newer books, it's gonna be hard to tell. I mean, is it going to be another Naomi, or is it going to be a Harley Quinn that stands the test of time? So you never know, so you always take chances, and there's always risks involved. That's something I always stress when it comes to newer books. That's why if you're not sure what to collect, I definitely recommend key books from the Bronze Age, Silver Age, Golden Age, because those characters are set. They're not going anywhere. Like the first Punishers and the first Ghost Riders and the first Spider-Mans and Batmans. They're not going anywhere. Those are going to be iconic characters forever. These newer characters, it is hit or miss. Punchline could become very popular. They could really write her character well, and she becomes a very loved mainstay character, or it could be somebody that fades over time. So it always depends on the price that you pay for the book. That's why I always recommend do not overpay unless you are as close to being confident as you can about a book. Now, like I said, that 1 in 25 variant alone at a 9.8 is valued at currently at CGC a 9.8 of around $150. I paid for all 6 books, because there's 2 of each, I paid $116.43, which means it averages out to $19.40 a cover. So, I mean, obviously, this book, paying $19.40, I overpaid. This one, I probably did well. But these, I made a killing. So, I mean, you can average it different ways if you want, but it averages out to $19.40 a piece. So I have 2 copies of these. So, if these both were sent out to be graded, and they both came back a 9.8, and I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, like I said, if you saw, that guy packaged them really well. Well, that's, as of now, roughly about $300. Considering I paid $116 for all of them, I would say, as of now, I'm doing well. But when it comes to profits or losses, you never lose money or profit on money until you sell something. And I see this not just on comic book channels, but I see it on gold and silver channels and video game spec channels and investment channels. If you have something that's worth $100 now, and you paid $200 for it, well, you may be down $100, but you didn't lose $100 because you didn't sell it. Because you never know, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years later, that could be a $500 item. And the same thing with the other way. If you bought a book for $100 and it's now worth $500, you don't have a $400 profit. You are up $400, but you don't have a $400 profit because you didn't sell it. And 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years from then, that book could go down to $20. So make sure you're very careful about your terminology, especially if you're making videos. and I'm not pointing any one person out because I see this all the time on baseball card spec, on Pops figures, action figures, like I said, gold and silver, in all these different spec markets. You do not have a loss or you do not have a profit until you sell. Like, for example, my other channel, I promote gold and silver. That's part of my other channel. It's been a while, but I started it recently because of the way the prices have gone. People were mocking for a while that for 9 years, gold went from 1900 down to around 1100. And people were mocking. Some of the gold I bought at 600, about $580 to about $750 an ounce. So it didn't matter. But I bought a couple of ounces of gold when it was at 1300. So people were laughing. Oh, look at all the money you lost. You bought at 1300, it went down to 1100. And I would always say, I didn't lose anything because I didn't sell it. Now if you look at the price of gold, it's over $2,000 an ounce. So never base your value of your comics or any of your investments in the right now unless you are having every intent to sell it right now. If you're holding on to it, you always have to remember what goes up can go down, but what goes down can go up. I mean, look at example, New Mutants 87, first full cable. When that book came out, that shot up to like $80 the first year. Then for decades, you could find that book in the dollar bin and people wouldn't touch it. Now it's back to a respectable level again. So things will fluctuate. You have to be patient. Sometimes, especially when it comes to new books, you got to hit real quick if you think this book does not have long-term chances of survival. If you miss that opportunity, sometimes you're going to have to wait months, years, even a decade before. I mean, look at New Mutants 98. For 20 years, you could have bought that book in the dollar bin, and again, nobody would have cared about it. Now, if you find one in the dollar bin, get as many as you can. So things will switch around, especially these days with movies for the comic book characters coming out. There are always chances that a character you didn't give a rat's behind about all of a sudden becomes majorly significant. We see it time and time again. And then you'll have books where there was hype, and then they went nowhere with it, and the book fell from the face of the earth. That's why I warn people about stuff like Naomi, because I knew why they made that book. It was forced kind of stuff, and I'll just leave it at that. And I knew that book was doomed to fail. I mean, how many people are buying Weapon H right now? How many people are interested in Major X right now? So you got to be careful. If you don't have the stomach to take the hit when you lose, you're never really going to be around long enough to be excited about the gains. So like I said, those books at $116 for all 6 of them, especially when they look like possible 9/8 candidates, as of now, it's worth more than I paid. But if I never sell them and the price goes down, well, then I lost the opportunity. I'm hoping that that book will continue to rise a little bit more, and then I can turn around and sell those books eventually and buy other books that I like. Because you notice, few and far between I sell books, but when I do, the money I use buys new books. So I tend to now want to invest more in the newer books with the specs, and then turn around and buy key books like what I'm about to show you now. So hopefully that helps people understand, and this is one of the things about my channel that people appreciate. I mean, anybody can show a comic or a baseball card or a video game or anything, but if you don't explain to people certain aspects of it, especially in the spec market, because trust me, this video is not going to get as many views as my spec videos, but you can learn a lot from videos like this. That's why I highly recommend, especially if you're a power viewer of mine or an ultra power viewer, that you watch all the videos, because you never know what you're going to learn from my advice. And a lot of people find it helpful, and I don't mind helping people. That's why I love doing this. But it's obvious that the majority of my viewers, when I do a spec video, that will get 1,000 to 2,000 views. A video like this, I'll be lucky to get 800. Now, I don't mind that, of course, because I want quality over quantity. But, like I said, many people are going to miss out on helpful information. Sometimes even the older people need to be reminded of certain things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, they packaged this where they put it in bubble wrap and then taped it, and then put the packing peanuts all in here. So I don't know where the book is. Alright, there it is. Very strange, but again, they wrapped it well, but they taped it to the box, so it's very awkward trying to get this out. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this another way. It's taped before a live audience. Alright, so we're gonna do... That's why I love this knife. That's not a knife. Alright, so this is the weirdest packaging they did on this one. But as long as the comic is safe, that's all I care about. So they did tape it to the inside of the box in 4 different areas. Very weird. But it looks like it's safe. This came from, I believe, a Canadian sale. Now, one of the things that I don't like that eBay is doing now, they charge about $30 for a currency conversion. So this book would have been a lot cheaper than, because I made an offer. They didn't even have a best offer, but I contacted them and they accepted it. And this is why I tell people, make efforts. If you put in efforts, you will reap the rewards, and you see I do that all the time. So I still, depending on the grade and if it is what it is, this book has so much growth potential. I don't even worry about paying what the fair market value of this book is, because it's not going to stay that way. Now, they put it in a weird bag. It feels like saran wrap. And it's... Okay, so that's not the official board. They just put it inside this. I'm like, that's really weird. Alright, so they put it in... There we go. There's no... Is there a backing board? Yes, okay. They put it in upside down. Alright, so this looks pretty decent. It's probably about a 3.0 to a 3.5. And I would have paid a lot cheaper if it wasn't for the fact that eBay charges like $30 to $40 for the... when you use a different currency, and they had this in Canadian dollars. So they originally had this for about $900. After all the fees and the shipping, it cost me $6.93, which is still not bad. But I have another. This is probably my 6th copy of Amazing Spider-Man 14. Now, it does have, as you can see there, some color loss on the tip. There's some color breaks along the spine. Of course, I'm going to have to open this up, because they did... I love when they do this. They put it upside down. But as you can see, there's a couple of color break creases on the edge. But as you can see, the cover presents well. And even at $693, I mean, this is the first appearance of the Green Goblin and the only appearance of his magical vacuum, because in Amazing Spider-Man 17, they show his glider. So Amazing Spider-Man 17 is definitely a key book, because it's the first appearance of the Green Goblin's glider. And of course, this is back in the days they made the Hulk look like Frankenstein with the flat top. But this is absolutely a key book, because Norman Osborn is going to be in the MCU. Now, I don't think you'll see him as Green Goblin right away, but that will make this book even more significant. Because if they just do Norman Osborn, that's going to bring this book right up, because of course, this is his first appearance as the Green Goblin. And then later on, when he becomes the Green Goblin, and there's no way they're not going to do that. I mean, this is arguably one of the top 3 villains, if not the top 2 villains, Spider-Man has of all time. They'd be crazy not to use him. But that would mean the book would go up again. So this is definitely a book I will be getting graded. It's a key book. It's one that I made the offer for. Like I said, especially in Canadian dollars, at the time, the US dollar was worth a lot more than it is now, so you also have to check, you know, if you're buying in different currencies, make sure you have the value of your currency at its highest point. So the dollar has dropped down to like 92, but at this point, I think it was like 101 or 102, somewhere around there, so you get more for your buck, which means when you're buying in other currencies, it costs you less money. But, of course, eBay, like I said, they charge like about a $30 fee, between $30 and $40 for the fee transferring of different currencies. So that added to it, which kind of sucks. But this is definitely a book I highly recommend. So, those are the books. As always, I would love to hear your opinion of what you think. That book I definitely recommend. And let me do today's surprise subscriber shout out. And don't forget also, guys, make sure you hit that cashback button. The link is in the description. It's in the live chat. And it's also in the, it will be in the comments section. Sign up. Spend $25 or more within the first 90 days. You'll get a $10 bonus. Please hit the like button before you leave. Only 21 likes out of 39. So about half the people have not had the kindness in their heart to hit that like button. Hopefully you will. And I keep asking because it helps promote my channel to other people. So these days with YouTube, I could use all the help I can get. So the 21 that hit the likes, thank you very much. Richard McDowell asks, is that the US version? It absolutely is. And the way you can tell, I'll put the video camera back on again, because I wouldn't buy a different country's version because they're just not as valuable. The easiest way to tell is you'll see right there, it says 12 cents. If it was from another country, it would have their currency on it. So this is absolutely the US version, and that is important. Make sure when you're buying books out of a different country, make sure you look for things like that. Something that simple can be overlooked, and you end up missing out on an opportunity, or you find out the book's not as valuable as you thought. So we're going to go with Chris Naples. Says, finally made it to a live stream, so you are going to be here at the right time because you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. So everybody give Chris Naples a thumbs up and a little comment in the comments section. Show him that you appreciate that. And Chris, if you do have a YouTube channel, as long as it's not a porn site or, you know, a troll site or anything really negative, if you have a YouTube channel, the surprise subscriber shout out can post a link to their video or their channel on this live chat or in the comment section of this video, and I will allow that link to be seen. Of course, I will verify first, but hopefully it'll get you a couple of subscribers. So that is my video. Thank you to the 23 people that hit the like button. I always appreciate the effort that you do. It shows that you appreciate what I do. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. Oh, and also do not forget that I am doing my comic book sale tomorrow. That will be the graded books. It will be tomorrow afternoon Eastern Time. So make sure you hit the notification button or just come back and we will have those comics for sale. My video last Sunday, with my ungraded comics, there's still a couple left. So if you haven't seen that video, it was last Sunday. It shows the ungraded books that I'm selling. I am willing to take offers on those at this time. Of course, they have to be fair offers. If I don't see something that's worth selling it for, then I will just hold on to it and watch it grow. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next video. Alright, so for those who stayed, and I see people already left, welcome Power Viewers. I'm going to show you a preview of the 5 or 6 comics that are graded that I'm selling tomorrow, and you, being the Power Viewers that you are, will have the opportunity to get these before all the others watch it tomorrow. So I'm going to put my email address right here. If you see one that you want, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. and you will be able to get this before it starts tomorrow. So this is not an auction. I'm just selling them at a certain price. You have the ability, the first person to message me about a book saying they want it and they're ready to pay for it will get it. So it's first come, first serve. If within 48 hours, if no one if no one buys them, I will accept reasonable offers. Now, domestic shipping for these, because they're graded, will be $17, and I will pack it incredibly well. Your books will arrive quickly and safely. So that's why I charge what I charge for the shipping, because you're not getting a manila envelope with a piece of cardboard to protect it. It will arrive safe. So internationally, if you live outside the continental United States, it will depend on your location. Expect it to be like 35 and up. That's not me making profit. It's, you know, the way it is. So you guys, this is my way of saying thank you to my power viewers for sticking around watching entire videos, because now you're about to get an opportunity to buy these books before anyone else gets to see them tomorrow. So thank you to those that stuck around. Alright, so the first one I have, this is Spider-Gwen #1. Spider-Gwen's pretty hot lately. This is an original sketch and signature, and I'll read what it says. Sketch, signed and sketched by Robbie Rodriguez, and signed and colored by Rico Renzi. So it's a colored sketch by the artist and colorist of the Spider-Gwen series. So of course this is a one-of-a-kind. I love collecting original art. Now, I was originally selling this at my flea market for $500. I'm not going to sell it for that. This book right now, $399 plus shipping. So you're not just getting a little remark. You're not just getting a regular, just uncolored sketch. You are getting a colored sketch by 2 Marvel employees and very highly respected. So it's signed and sketched by Robbie Rodriguez and signed and colored by Rico Renzi. Definitely a great book. And it's also a 9.8 with white pages. And this is Spider-Gwen #1. Alright, next up we have another Spider-Gwen #1. But this one, it's very rare that he does coloring. Well, actually he just did the sketch and it was colored by someone else. But this is Spider-Gwen #1. This is a 9.6. This is an Adam Hughes signed and sketched original piece of art of Spider-Gwen. It is signed and sketched by Adam Hughes and signed and colored by Ryan Kincaid. Again, I was selling this for $520. Well, I was selling it for $525 at the flea market. I'm selling this one for also $399 plus the shipping. So if you love original art, those are 2 great ones. Speaking of which, absolutely love this cover. Venom is so hot right now. This is definitely a book. I was selling this one for $650. Let me make sure. Okay. Love this cover. This is Dark Avengers #1. First appearance of the Dark Avengers. Norman Osborn becomes the Iron Patriot. So there are some key things about this book. But this is an original sketch from David Finch of Venom. This is an amazing sketch. 9.8 with white pages. It has significance in the book. First appearance of the Dark Avengers. Just imagine if that hits into the MCU. I am selling this one for $450 plus shipping. So that is definitely a beautiful piece of artwork, and Venom is absolutely hot, and this book has a lot of potential to it. So again, it's $17 for domestic shipping. If you live outside the United States, it's going to be different. So contact me with that. But the first person that messages me for these books will get them. They'll have 24 hours to pay for it. If they do not pay for it, the next person that messages me will get the opportunity. So don't send any payment. Message me first, because I might have more than one person asking for the same comic, and I don't want 3 or 4 people paying for a book thinking they own it. So message me first. The first one that I see was sent, they will have 24 hours to pay for it. If they don't, I'll go down the list and so on. Alright, this is a no-brainer, this book. This is a hot book. This is one that's going to continue to rise. It's one I highly recommend. I have a few copies, so I do not mind selling this. We got ourselves a Marvel Spotlight number 5. First appearance of Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. Ghost Rider. This is definitely going to be a book that is on the uptick. 4.0, I'm selling it for $475 plus shipping. And you can see the back. This book does not look like it was pressed. So you could potentially, and I say potentially because there's no guarantees, you could crack this open, have it pressed and dry cleaned, and maybe go up to a 4.5, but I can't guarantee that. But this book, if it doesn't sell, I do not mind holding on to it because they've already said that he's going to be in the MCU. So this book is going to continue to rise. So this book I will not take any offers on. If it does not sell for $475, I'll just hold on to it and watch the profits continue. I was selling it at the flea market for $500. Again, just message me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Alright, if you love original artwork and original signatures, this is one you're not going to find anywhere else. This is a one-of-a-kind. Now, it's not the book that's important, because there's no significance about the book. It's what's on it. So this is Wolverine Origins number 9. You will see it has not only a sketch and signature by Herb Trimp, it has several other signatures, all verified, graded a 9.4. I got this graded myself. This was part of my personal collection. So let me show you what's on it. It's got a signed in remark by Herb Trimp, who has passed away. Also by Len Wein, who is a co-creator of Wolverine, also passed away. Dan Kemp, Dan Way, Steve Dillon, and Joe Quesada all signed this book. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different signatures and a Wolverine sketch by Herb Trimp. You will not find this comic anywhere else. I was selling this book for $1,200, lowered it to $850 at the flea market. I am selling this book right now $695 plus shipping and handling of the $17. So you're getting the co-creators of Wolverine, both of which are passed away, with an original drawing on it, and a total of 6 signatures, all verified. That's definitely a steal. Alright, this one, again, I love original art. This is a one-of-a-kind piece you will not get anywhere else. You will not see this anywhere else. So if you like rare books, this is the rarest of the rare because there is no other. This is Defenders number 1. This is the blank sketch variant, graded CGC 9.8. It's got 4 original sketches and a Neil Adams signature. So we got 5 signatures, 4 original sketches from key artists, which I'll mention in a second, and Neil Adams' signature. So we have signed and sketch by Sal Buscema, or Buscema, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. So he did a Submariner. So signed and sketched by Sal Buscema or Buscema. Hulk, signed and sketched by Herb Trimp, again, or Trimp, again deceased. Signed by Neil Adams on the bottom. Rich Woodall, signed and sketch. He did Doctor Strange, and then Jim Starlin did Silver Surfer. So you have 4 original art pieces, one by a deceased artist, Herb Trimp. You have Neil Adams' signature. It is a 9.8. This was witnessed So it guarantees the authenticity. I was selling this for $1,500. I'm going to sell this today for $995 plus shipping. So if you're interested in a one-of-a-kind piece of artwork that no one else has, with amazing artwork on it from some top names in the industry, this is your book to get. And again, I don't mind if this doesn't sell. I'll just hold on to it. So, those are the books. So, because you're a power viewer, or you just happen to click on now, you got to see the books before I do the video tomorrow. So, if anybody emails me at the address above and says, "Hi, I saw this book, I would like to get it," that book may be sold out before anybody gets to see it tomorrow. So, I appreciate my power viewers that stuck around, and to the 31 that gave the like button. Let me know what you guys think about these books. And again, it's first come, first serve. So don't send any payments. Just message me first, because I have to make sure, you know, you're not second or third and you're just giving money. Of course, if that happened, I'd return the money anyway, because I'm not here to kind of steal from people. But those are the books. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button. And don't forget, it is not you. It is not I. It is we love comics. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12 noon. Have a great day.